Let's talk about completed plans of care
Yeah.
because to me, I think that's the best metric to judge the
You and I
performance of
both.
an individual therapist. I think that's the best metric to judge the alignment in values between the culture of your business and what patients you're attracting or trying to help. What are some things that you talk about with other therapists when it comes to completed plans of care and typically why patients are dropping off or maybe why patients are staying? What are you doing right?
Yeah, unfortunately, we start from the negative. This was a journey, man, to get here. So as I share this, I want people to understand it wasn't a straight line. I probably reverse engineered most of this. I know sometimes people say, "Oh, but I tend to be a reverse engineer success guy." What's that end product look like? Okay, what do you have to do the step before, step before? That's really how I got here. And so I default to the front end, the marketing, the sales. Because, and I'll tell you why it's proven itself out. And I can state this with a fact that the investment made earlier in a person's journey with your business will pay a greater ROI than if you wait. And this is that classic, just get them in the door, just get them scheduled. That creates a chaos, right? And that creates higher drop off rates, higher cancels, higher no shows, which if you're canceling, if you're dropping off, if you're no showing, you can't be getting completed plans care. So I like to talk about driving arrivals. And when I say driving arrivals, right, that means less cancels, less drop offs, less no shows. And if I'm driving arrivals, then the increased likelihood of a completed plan of care goes up. And Tony and I align perfectly on this. This is the ultimate metric, which drop offs are the ultimate dark side of this, right? The
Right.
Batman, the Joker, right? The Joker's a drop off, Batman's a completed plans of care. They're both a little dark. I get it, but I like that one. So to me, the success starts at the beginning. And by the way, go to someone's website. What are they selling? Right. And
Yeah.
I got to tell you, Tony, in the sales process, when Tony calls the clinic, I do secret callers, as you know, and I listen to a boatload of calls every week because I'm working with a lot of clinics right now and doing training, ongoing training. So I listen to calls. I say, okay, cool, you're sending me calls. So I listen to calls incessantly. The number of people that say how they found you and then there's no follow up to it is a crime. Because if
Yeah.
Tony says he was on my website, he basically just told me why. Hold on, bear with me on this. He just told me there is a reason he aligns with the company. And if I don't ask, I'll never know. Oh, Jerry, I saw you work with cyclists. And if I have one PT that works with cyclists, then I now have all the information I need to turn Tony into a happy paying customer with that
Yeah.
one question, right? So this idea of success starts, right? Success starts when they landed on the website and on the banner saw someone on their bicycle, mountain biking, because we're in an area of mountain bikes, whatever, and they saw someone happily riding their mountain bike with a big old smile on their face. And maybe they scrolled down a little further and they saw someone with a bike on a trainer. Now, that may not be the only people we serve, but that is the biggest part of our population. And so Tony says he was on the website, and I say, that's awesome. So Tony, do you have a referral? I'm like, you just missed it. You missed the opportunity. And by the way, Tony calls in, same Tony, same business, same Tony. Or sorry, different Tony, same business. Guy doesn't like cycling. And you treat cyclists 80% of the time. And you never found out truly why he connected with you. How did he find you? What is it that you saw about us that got you to call us? Hey, Tony, what does a successful journey in a physical therapy business? This is a way undervalued question. What does a successful journey, the journey itself, not the end result? People fuck this up. My podcast, I get to say fuck. People fuck this up. They ask for, right? They go, oh, what's the journey look like for you? Oh, being back on my bike completely healthy. And I'm like, no, that wasn't the question. What does the journey, what would you expect from, this is expectation. Oh, I'd expect hands-on care and a customized exercise program. Oh my God, Tony, you so called the right place. I'm so glad you called us, right? So again, I've got to align Tony's expectations with he is the right fit. But if Tony says, I don't want any hands-on care and I just want a fucking sheet to take home and I don't do that, don't put him on the schedule because he just told you he's not your ideal client. So again, we're
Right.
back to completed plans of care, right? These are all those things that go in on the first phone call that are either setting the provider up for success or setting them up for failure. My whole gig is they arrive ready to pay and stay. So they're We can call it pre-suaded, pre-sold, pre-qualified, call it whatever you want. But I say now to the PT, just be the expert you are. So starts on the first phone call. And then, of course, we know we're going to do things in between to keep reassuring them they made the best decision for them. By the way, because we only put people on the schedule who are the best fit for our clinic. So we reassure them, keep building that trust, keep taking uncertainty, fear, doubt, and uncertainty down. Because people don't show up because of fear, doubt, and uncertainty. Keep
Right.
taking that down. They walk in the door, meet Dr. Jane Doe. She walks in the room, and within the first 5 minutes, they're like, this is it. This is exactly what I expected, exactly what Jerry told me. I'm in the right place. And I'm like, you think the plan of care is agreed upon? Probably about 75% already. So
Yeah.
this process to a completed plan of care. And then, by the way, the PT does their part and they move them through that process. They sit down and talk about what that journey is going to look like with them. They map it out. So they bridge that gap between current state and future state. And then they're held accountable each visit, right? So the PT has to greet. I always say, the only thing that has to happen each visit, they have to be greeted the same way, and they have to be the last thing they hear. They both have to be the same thing. And on entrance, I have to greet you with one of your 2 or 3 goals. And on exiting, I need to remind you how what we just did and how what we're going to do next visit is going to move you one step closer. And if we do that, completed plans of care.
If you'd like to learn more about Strata PT and see how our EMR and RCM works, head over to stratapt.com to book a demo.